This belt of conversation is focused on Walewale because residents want the curfew lifted. They say it has affected commercial activities in the area, and we want to engage the chairman of the Regional Security Council, who's also the Northeast Regional Minister, Mr. Ibrahim Tia. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning. He joins us via Zoom. Mr. Ibrahim Tia, do we have you on Zoom? Okay, so when you look at the chronological plot of this conflict, it's safe to say that a number of incidents, violent incidents, led to this curfew. Hence, on the 9th of June 2025, the Minister for Interior, on the advice of the Northeast Regional Security Council and by executive instrument, renewed the curfew hours in Walewale and its environs and in the Northeast region. And this is a curfew that residents are asking to be lifted because they're saying it intervenes with their socio-economic life. Mr. Ibrahim Tia, good morning to you. You're on Zoom.
Good morning,
Great.
Madam. How are you, your cherished listeners?
I'm fabulous. Thank you for joining us. So my very first question to you this morning is to take us back to what are some of the incidents or some of the solutions that was proffered before the establishment of this curfew, which the people are now protesting? What options did you have in terms of dealing with the conflicts before the curfew? And what made the curfew the best option for you?
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to these issues. I've spoken to it a number of times. Before the curfew was imposed, there were daily attacks on the Walewale stretch towards Bolga. So these attackers were unknown to the community of Walewale. So we decided engaging the overlord, the Nairi, and also engage stakeholders of the Walewale municipality and the chiefs and opinion leaders to see how we can nip these unfortunate incidents on the back. But unfortunately, when we started engaging them, we engaged them a series of times. So the community also really started engaging a number of communities along the Walewale stretch to see how they could get these attackers arrested or find a way of it stopping completely. We started engaging the community on Wednesday. No, rather Tuesday. That we got the information on Monday. Then Tuesday we started engagements. Wednesday we're in Walewale. We met the chief of Walewale. We met the assembly persons and other stakeholders and asked them to take it on board so that when they finish, we will have a wider stakeholder engagement in Walewale. Unfortunately, on Wednesday when we went there and we were returning, we didn't even get to the regional capital and there were attacks. Then Thursday, there were attacks. Friday, there were attacks. Our superiors from above who are also listening to these things called on and said, yes, the way things are going, it seems the issue is getting out of hand and you are not in control of the situation for that matter. The only option available as at then was the curfew. Truly so. When the curfew came, I think there's really, really perfect peace on the ground. When the curfew was imposed up to date, nothing has happened. Not even a fowl has died on that road again. So
I know some people who disagree with you. Whereas you are calling it perfect peace, they say it hasn't really brought, calmness. I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, we spoke to someone who said there's relative calm. It doesn't mean it's absolute perfect peace. But, tell us again exactly how the curfew has contributed to reducing the violence and protecting the lives and properties since its implementation. Let's understand what you mean by that.
Let me react to the relative calm as compared to the perfect peace that I'm talking about. If vehicles were
I think it was you we spoke to, no? And you said relative calm. Yes,
precisely. But now there's peace.
Okay.
There's peace.
Okay.
Because why am I saying so is when vehicles were being burnt and people were being killed. And I can say that for the past 4 or 5 months now, nothing. For the past 4 or 5 months, nothing. Not even a fowl has been killed on that stretch. Not even a vehicle has been burnt. I can attest to that. Unless maybe something that has happened that has not come to my attention. So that is why I'm saying that there's relative peace, because as compared to when the curfew came on. So we also made our recommendations. And when we made our recommendations, the curfew was reviewed. And subsequently, we keep making recommendations. And you see, there are wider stakeholders involved in this. We at the RISEC are there. national security has got wider ears than we even have. They have several ways of getting their information with regards how they will deal with certain issues, with regards to certain peculiar areas. So I think that is where I really want us to look at. Yes, certainly, there's no way curfew will come and there will not be hardships. I do admit. Yes, people who do their trades throughout the night and finally they have to stop at a certain point. Yeah, and apart from that, human as we are, the moment you are restricted, certainly you feel very uncomfortable. So I appreciate the concerns of Walewale citizens.
Okay, but before we get to the concerns of the people, you mentioned that the national security is doing a lot, but reports also sort of allege to excessive force by these security personnel during the enforcement of the curfew. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, certainly I am not with them on the ground. It is the various regional security capos that will brief me about the situation on the ground. And if that is not brought to my attention, certainly, but those that come to my attention, I may follow up to call. I've heard ABC. What is it? What is the reality on the ground? Yes, some come and they are true. Some too sometimes are exaggerated.
So, I mean, the fine line between what's exaggerated and what's true is accountability. So what measures have you put in place to ensure that the people who've been sent there to protect the lives and properties are not overreaching, or they are not going beyond the limits of the law in terms of enforcing this curfew using force?
Yeah, that is very true. We at the Regional Security Committee, we always meet, and whenever issues come, we sit down and address them, and then we talk to the community. We engage the DC, who is now at the grounds there. Most issues, when they come, I refer them back to the district chief executive to take it up with the municipal police commander and all the other security forces that are working within Walewale town. So we are always in touch on some of these issues.
Okay, so you cannot confirm nor deny whether indeed the military personnel are using brutal force to enforce this curfew?
As I speak to you, the municipal chief executive is there in the community. He's a native of that community. Myself, I'm a native of that community. And when issues come, certainly we follow it to the bottom of the matter. We just don't leave it ajar. Yeah, there are certain concerns that may come to our attention. Like your newsman, you go and meet somebody and speak to that person, and that person raises certain concerns which are not reported to us. How can we deal with an issue that is not reported to us? These are some of the issues.
Okay, so now let's talk about the concerns of the people now. I mean, you started by saying that definitely when there's a curfew rather, people will be uncomfortable. Life will not be as free as it ought to be. So I guess the question is, knowing that this curfew affects the socio-economic lives of your people, what measures have you put in place to mitigate the impact of that?
Well, we have made recommendations, and then we are seeing how they will be implemented and how they will be worked on. And then when finally the curfew
Pray tell, what recommendations are these?
We are engaging to see, yes, a number of people's businesses will go down, and certainly per the 24-hour economy that His Excellency is bringing on board, and the number of groups that we are supposed to form and assist, we'll get them assisted so that they will go back to business. These are some of the things that we are really looking at.
Mr. Ibrahim Tia, your people are listening to you this morning, and you say that you understand the plight, they're facing in terms of the impact of this curfew on their social and economic life. And you also said that you will have some recommendations and you're waiting for response. It would all go well for the team in government to elaborate on what these options or recommendations are so they can follow through with you and not just assume that you're doing things that would hurt them more than help them. So what recommendations are we talking about here in terms of how we can mitigate the impact of this curfew on their lives?
Thank you. I am the chairman of the Regional Security Committee. And it is not everything that we discuss at the Regional Security Committee that you can bring out, or recommendations that you can bring out into the public domain. There are rules guiding whatever we do. There are some that we have to leave it and then pursue it with the authorities that be in Accra, our bosses, our superiors there, so that we see how we can get issues resolved peacefully and amicably on the ground. Okay,
so how are you collaborating with the traditional authorities there? Because as we speak, I think they are the ones who actually lead these opinions. How is the Regional Security Council collaborating with opinion leaders and others to at least let them know that it's for their best interest that this curfew has come?
Well, certainly with the traditional leaders, I'm in constant touch with them always. As I'm talking to you, there are a number of opinion leaders that I'm even going to engage after this meeting on several dimensions. peace, development, and all, yeah, social interventions, all. We engage constantly. You cannot be a leader without engaging with the traditional leaders and think that you can work effectively. That one, we have been doing it.
So beyond this curfew, I mean, you have said that for some months now, we've not seen any violent attacks, and that's good news. So beyond the curfew, what are you doing to ensure that we don't see a resurgence or reoccurrence of these violence? And I mean, that question is even on the back of whether or not the curfew will be reviewed, because that's what the people are asking for. Do you intend to do that?
You and I know when curfews are imposed, there are a series of measures that they follow before they always consider a review of the curfew. We have made our recommendations, and then I am not the final authority, but we have made our recommendations. And so I think the authorities that be at the top will look at it and see what they can do possibly.
Okay. And the curfew, sorry, go ahead.
I said towards the lifting of the curfew or reviewing the curfew.
Not the curfew will be lifted or reviewed right now. Although that's what the people are asking for.
I can't see categorically. I can't see categorically because that doesn't lie in my bosom.
Okay. What about the root cause of the problem? I mean, the curfew is a reactive measure to calm tempers, but the root cause of the problem, how are you dealing with it? What plans are in motion to ensure that you fix the problem at the root?
Before the curfew even came on board, we had already started engagement with the communities, opinion leaders, assembly persons, youth groups. We did it. So we're thinking that it will pick, but unfortunately we started. Just within 3 days, the escalations kept coming on. That was why the curfew came on. But if it hadn't come on, I am quite optimistic that yes, the approach that we have taken would have redeemed the situation on the ground, precisely because getting everybody involved and they knowing that, look, this is the situation, this is the way for us to go. And yes, the community, Walewale community started. The assembly persons and then the opinion leaders started. So they started engaging BIMC, Gulugu, and then Nasia. Yes, they started the engagements. As at the day that the curfew was even imposed, the final attack on Friday where the bus was burned, that same day, there was an engagement in Gulugu and the people were waiting until when the unfortunate incident happened, the leadership and the youth associations could not go there to meet them, and then that was how it happened. So certainly these engagements will continue. Aside that, there are spillover effects from Boku that always creates this problem for us in Walewale. And there are mediations going on. You know, Otunfo is on top of the issue and he's talking both sides. So I'm quite sure that by the end of the mediation, I think everything will come under control and then there will be peace.
I mean, for those who are watching you in your area, what would be your message to them, those who especially are itching for freedom? Let's reiterate the need for them to be calm and let the process continue. What's your message to them now?
Let me put this in perspective. Your correspondent in my region on Friday gave a reportage which I heard of it later. I was supposed to join on Friday, but unfortunately I was engaged in a meeting. And what your reporter gave was completely false. He never spoke to me. I've not spoken to Ilyasu Tanko for the past 1 month. I'm putting it on record. And Ilyasu came with a reportage. He went sampling views. I don't know whether he even did it or he asked somebody to do it because he has not been in the region for some time now. Then, at the end of it, saying categorically that I said the curfew necessary in view of the circumstances, which was not too accurate about me, and I was not happy about it. And I want to put it to that because when the report came out, so many people called me, so many audios came attacking me, and I think that that was not fair. Ilyasu should have gotten back to me, speak to me, and I'll speak to him. I've not closed my doors to any media outlet. No, I am talking to you.
He sampled opinions. Could it be the case that these opinions are those from the people on grounds? That's what he heard, that's what he reported. Usually when we go on grounds, we report what we see and what we are told. So it could be the case that these are the opinions of the people in your region, no?
A moment, he should have reported on the opinions of the people, but not my opinion, where he never spoke to me. He has my contact. I've called him since that reportage came out. I called him 3 times. He has failed to pick. I sent him WhatsApp messages. He has failed to respond to them. What is up his sleeves? I don't know. But I think that as newsmen, as a journalist, always give me the chance. Speak to me. These are the views on the ground. Like you are speaking to me. You have collated views on the ground.
All right.
And I'm speaking to them.
All right. I cannot independently defend nor deny this right now. So we'll take our time and get into the issue. And of course, we'll let the details come to bear so that everyone watching right now will understand exactly what happened. But thank you so much for joining us. I have a minute for your final words, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wish to appeal for calm and civility. Even myself, I'm a native of Walewale. And there's no way, I don't have any intention whatsoever to punish anybody in Walewale. I don't even have those powers to punish anybody. Everybody understands the issues that were on board. And as at that time, the issues were above us. We met opinion leaders and we told them that, look, this is the situation. When we go this way, based on our recommendations, I think we'll avoid this curfew that has been that we have been informed that if these issues do not stop, it will come up. So let's work towards avoiding it. But unfortunately, we couldn't get to the conclusion before it came out. So I'm appealing with everybody. Let's remain calm. And I think that our superiors in Accra, listening to all that is going on the ground, based on the recommendations that we are also making, certainly they will listen to us, listen to our plea, and either review the curfew or lift it completely for us.
Thank you so much.
I just think that, yes, I want to thank Joy News 2 for giving me this opportunity to clarify on these issues. And also, we are also working tirelessly to see how we can restore those whose businesses are affected in Walewale community when the time arrives, because we are working towards that. And that we tie that in consultation with His Excellency 24-hour economy and then the manifesto pledges that he has made. Yes, we have to revive businesses, we have to help groups. And I think we are doing that. So many groups have been formed on the ground, and we will assist them to farm. Those who are into business, we will also assist them to see how they can revamp their businesses.
Right. That's reassuring. Thank you. Mr. Ibrahim Tia is Northeast Regional Minister and the Chairman of the Regional Security Council. And he says he cannot independently confirm whether or not the curfew will be renewed or reviewed. And he's asking people to be calm and that they're working tirelessly to ensure that they find ways to mitigate the impact of this curfew on their social and economic lives. That's it for Walewale. Now, are you looking to do things differently, to level up your skills and get ahead in this challenging job market? You know, statistics show it's tough out here for university graduates, with only a few of them landing jobs immediately after school. And doing things differently is what the Design and Technology Institute is all about. DTI offers programs ranging from precision welding and fabrication, design innovation, which includes graphic design, sound engineering, animation, photography, etc. And the biggest one, entrepreneurship. Our programs are internationally recognized by the American Welding Society, Pearson BTech, and CTVET. So it means you can shine anywhere in the world or right here in Ghana. If you're ready to do things differently and chart your path, check out DTI. Visit dtiafrica.com/admissions or call 054-164-3534 for more information. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll take you to what's happening in the trends with Jacqueline Ansamayabwa and Derek Elom Ashilavi. See you soon.